Hi friends, Brianna here again, manager of theatrical and early childhood experiences at Miami Children's Museum, and I am so glad that you could make it to this video celebrating Autism Awareness Month. This storytelling is going to be epic for 3 reasons. 1, because this book was written by our friend and Miami Children's Museum theatre troupe intern, Jordan Saruski. Another reason it's going to be epic is because Jordan is going to be reading the book for us. And another reason it's going to be epic is because it is called The Epic Adventures of Super Alexander. So, here is Jordan to tell you about the book and himself. Take it away, my friend.
Hello, my name is Jordan Saruski, and I am a 25-year-old actor. As I also work as an office assistant at the New World Symphony. I am on the autism spectrum, but that does not stop me from leading a full and wonderful life. I am engaged to my fiancée Nicole, and we hope to be married next year. I am also very excited to say that I am a published author. During the pandemic last year, I wrote The Epic Adventures of Super Alexander with a little help of my job coach Alexandra and the wonderful illustrations of my friend Joseph Perez. And I would love to read to you my book, and I really hope you enjoy it. Here we go. This is my book, The Epic Adventures of Super Alexander by Jordan Saruski. That's me, illustrated by Joseph Perez. One night, Alexander dreamt that he became a famous superhero. He was taught by Maximus the Great, who told Alexander how he became a superhero by using his super skills. Early next morning, Alexander wakes up to his alarm clock. He gets out of bed, he stretches out and yawns. He is getting ready for his first day of school. He tells his family at breakfast about the strangest dream he ever had. When I grow up, I want to be a famous superhero, said Alexander. That's a wonderful dream, his mother said. You're going to have to exercise a lot every day to get those big muscles, said his father. I will do my best, and I will never give up, Alexander replied. Okay, boys, let's hurry up. The school bus will be here shortly, said his mother. The school bus arrived, and Alexander climbed in with excitement. Inside the bus, he sees an open seat next to a girl with blue hair. He walks up and said, "Hello, my name is Alexander. What's yours?" And the girl replied, Julie. He then asked if he could sit next to her in a friendly manner. She said, "Of course." They were off to first grade. Inside the classroom, the first grade teacher, Miss Harley, explained all about math. Then she says, "Who knows the answer to this math problem?" Alexander quickly raised his hand. He knew the answer by using his brain. Finally, he said, 1 times 10 is surely 10. Julie blurts out, "Miss Harley, isn't Alexander so smart?" All the children cheered with happiness after Miss Harley said, "Yes, he is." At lunchtime, Alexander noticed someone that was being mean to other students. The boy's name was Troy, the school bully at North Beach Elementary. He was much bigger than Alexander was. He had on a baseball cap, and his shirt resembled a thunderstorm. Alexander walked over to Troy and angrily said, "You are the meanest bully I ever seen before." Troy is very shocked that Alexander stood up to him. He was angrily grabbed a slice of pepperoni pizza and froze it. But Alexander quickly dodged it. It ends up hitting another student, and everyone began to laugh at this mishap. But before you know it, the entire cafeteria is in a food fight. Troy is now standing speechless, looking at all of their shells. Alexander cannot believe what he started and does not know how to handle all of these noises and food flying everywhere. He runs out of the lunchroom and starts to look for a peaceful place to catch his breath. He sees a big shady tree and crawls behind it. He notices a bright light coming from inside and begins to follow it. And all of a sudden, he sees a familiar figure. It is the Shame Master he saw in his dream, Maximus the Great. Alexander starts to tell Maximus about his long day and the bully he confronted, Troy. Maximus listens and appears to have a great idea. He tells Alexander that he can use his magic to turn him into a superhero that he always wanted to be. However, there is one rule that Alexander must follow it. If he wants to be a hero, he must always use his power for good. Back at school, Troy has an evil plan to get rid of Alexander. He tells his minion Biff to come with him so they can complete his master plan. They start to rip down all of the posters around the school. Next, they break a glass case with a rock and throw all of the school trophies to the floor. Finally, they spray paint the wall saying, "Alexander was here." Miss Harley comes out of her classroom after she hears the noise and see all of the mess. "Oh my goodness, why would anyone do this?" she says, surprised. The students come out of the classroom and gasp in horror. Another student, Cooper, says, "Look, Miss Harley," and point to Alexander's name on the wall. They all quickly rush to find Alexander. Miss Harley and all of her students are looking everywhere. All of a sudden, Troy and Biff shout out, "He's right behind this tree." Everyone circles around and Miss Harley says, "Alexander, I cannot believe what you do something like this. I'm going to call your parents." She grabbed his wrist and began to walk towards the principal's office. Alexander began to shake in fear. Julie runs in front of them and says, "Miss Harley, I don't think Alexander did it. Just give him a chance." Miss Harley feels a spark underneath her hand and lets go of Alexander. He began to run in the opposite direction. He sees a light bulb laying on the ground by his secret hiding place. He touches it and it instantly begins to transform into Super Alexander. Biff and Troy cannot believe their eyes. Miss Harley and the class stare at Super Alexander in awe. Alexander says, "I'll use my super physics powers to see what really happened to the school." He closes his eyes and sees Troy and Biff messing up the school. Troy begins to get very nervous and his eyes became red. Troy begins to run towards Alexander. He lets the secret out. He tries to push Alexander to the ground, but he fails miserably. Alexander used his electric shock powers to get Troy off of him. Alexander picks up Troy and says to everyone, "Have no fear. Let me show all of you how much of a bully Troy is." Everyone follows Alexander to the camera room in the main office. Once inside, Alexander gave an electric wink and instantly the screen turns on. On the camera, you can see Troy and Biff spray painting the walls. Julie quickly shouts, "See, Miss Harley? I told you it wasn't Alexander." Miss Harley tells Troy and Biff to come with her to the principal's office right away. They begin to march away and all of the kids starts to walk back to class. All you can hear is, "Wow, Super Alexander is awesome. I can't believe he is a real superhero. He saved the day. He sure put Troy in his place. Julie turns to Alexander and says, I want to thank you for standing up to Troy. You are the bravest superhero I've ever seen. Alexander says, Julie, you are too kind, but you haven't seen anything yet. She began to laugh, and Alexander whispers, watch this. All of a sudden, there's an electric cart over their heads. They're blushed and headed back to class. The end.
And that was The Epic Adventures of Super Alexander, written and read by our friend Jordan Saruski. Thank you so much, Jordan, for helping us celebrate Autism Awareness Month. And for those at home, if you like what you saw and want more videos just like this one, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Until next time, I hope you have a lovely, wonderful day. Take care. Bye.